Okay. So when we were discussing this, matter of fact, we were discussing it on our way home from Vegas, and I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I did ask Vicky the question, but when I asked Vicky the question, I just wanted to get her viewpoint, to have a discussion, because that's what we do. This is what our show is about, having discussions, meaningful discussions, and where we can agree, and sometimes we're going to disagree. So I watch TV. Outside of Miss Vicky being my best friend, my TV is my best friend. So when I'm watching TV, I get a lot of information, and I watch talk shows, and that was one of the questions that was on the talk show. So, and I just happened to be sharing with Vicky, and we got to this point. So I'm glad she shared that part, and I know it was might have been uncomfortable for her, but I respect her, and I'm glad that she brought up at least that part. And I am a Christian as well, and to each his own what they do. We're just bringing in information, empowering you, and bringing awareness. That's how we're doing. Okay. Now, Vicky also brought up subject matter within dating that I didn't know nothing about. So this is another learning experience from Miss Vicky. So I'm gonna allow her to share that when it comes to being single and dating and being single. Period. So go ahead, Miss Vicky.
Well, we were just basically talking about the status of being single, and I had just brought up the fact that there's two different type of single. There's a person that's single and maybe just dating, and then they have one that's single that's in a relationship. So the one that's single in a relationship, their status is not really single. They're actually in a relationship. They're not considered married, but they're in a relationship. So in other words, they're not available, to anyone else because they're claiming to be in a relationship. But if you are single and you're just dating or you're not claiming a relationship, then you're considered single. And they have those type of statuses on social media. And that I had just brought that up in a conversation that we had. DJ Dika.
Which I found to be quite interesting. Because I'm like, I must be under a rock. Because I never looked at it like that, thought about it. And then she let me know, there's nothing wrong with that. But DJ Dika is just that, that's not part of your circle right now. So I wouldn't expect you to, have the same mindset of thinking of that I'm telling you right now. Because that's not part of your world right now. And I'm letting y'all know, it's not going to be a part of my work for a minute. Okay? Okay. Because I'm focused.
Well,
let me say this a different way. See, that extra, listeners, she could have kept that, okay? All right, tunnel vision time. We have a tunnel vision moment, okay? I focused on a certain area in my life, and that was important to me. And I'm not saying that
most people be focused, and then all of a sudden they meet somebody, and then next thing you know, they in a relationship. So that doesn't mean
talking about me.
Yeah, I'm talking about anybody. Anybody.
And it sounds like you're talking about me because she said we'll see.
The sky is the limit. Because I'm saying you're making a statement that you can be like that for a minute, and I said we'll see, because the average person that say that they're focused, they don't have time for that, then all of a sudden they meet somebody, and the situation
I'm not denying
changes.
that. I'm not denying that at all.
That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, at the moment, this very second, at what time is it? 7:34 p.m. on August 15th. I am focused on my career, and I'm not thinking about being in no relationship. Now,
let me know.
If that's
let me know.
Let
me know at 8:00. Let me know at 8:30 if you still think that way. If you didn't get a call and somebody changed your life. That's how fast.
That's a whole ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, that's a whole nother conversation. But Miss Vicky throwing out a challenge to me. She only doing that because she know me. But okay. All I'm saying is at 7:35, that's what I feel now. If this should change at 8:30, then I will let y'all know next Sunday, okay? Man, if I forget, you bring it up. I'll bring it. If I forget later, y'all bring it up. Is there any update, DJ D2? Okay. All right. All right then. Now, like I said, and if they call my phone at 8:30, they must be from God. Them, God sent them. Okay. All right. Okay. The reason why I brought up being focused, I'm just using that as another empowerment moment. And believe me, trust me, I'm not saying don't be focused on, a person in your life or your relationship. If that's what's important to you in your life, then you do that. All I'm saying for me personally, that is not my focus. Okay? As Ms. Vicky said, would you say not yet? Okay, we'll see. Okay. I really feel confident it ain't going to change. I really feel confident it ain't going to change by next week, but we'll see. Okay. So anyway, thank you for sharing that. So this is Dating R US, and we started with knowing the difference between being single and you're dating and being single in a relationship but you're not married. We also, not today, but we're going to continue this conversation, and we did some research. And I just want to share the titles because I don't want to get into it right now. I want to save it for the next time we have this conversation. But I thought the titles was very, very interesting. One of the articles is by The Guardian. Mm-hmm. It says, apps promise to revolutionize dating. You know those apps that we go to? Some of us go to? Revolutionize dating. But for women, they're mostly terrible. And that was by Nancy Jo Sales. So I look forward to reading her article and seeing why she feels that way.
Can I touch on that?
Next. Oh, sure. Go right ahead.
So, in this time in my life, well, I'm transitioning again in my occupation, but on my job, I call it YouTube University. I have a lot of time to be in school. YouTube University.
Yeah.
And it's this one podcast I was listening to, 4 men. 2 of them are married. One was married, he's divorced, and he's single again. And then one never been married, and he's single. And they're in the Houston area. I'm not shouting out their show because they piss me off. I'm not giving them kudos at all. But I just want to talk about how their show is focused around giving advice on dating, their peers dating, like their age group. So they're like mid-30s. They're talking to people in their mid-30s, I guess young adults to mid-30s, so 18 and up. And a lot of the conversation is talking about women and how they put women in categories and how there's so many women that the men are the prize, not the women. They said the men are the prize because it's so many women that the men have options and the women don't have options. The women, and then they put the women in different categories by numbers. So they say, oh, she's a 10. Oh, she's a 5. Oh, she's a 7, that type of thing. And then they say that that is based on looks. And then they even brought a color, which I thought was terrible. But they were like looks, body, looks in regards to like their face, their hair, their body. And they put all this stuff in different categories. If a woman has a body and doesn't have a pretty face, they put them in a category. If a woman has everything, they put them in a category. If a woman just has a face and no body, they put them in a category. If a woman has money and does not fit her face, she's not beautiful to them, They put that in the category. If a woman has beauty and money, they put them. So they have all these different categories. My point is for women, and they say that women are not the prize, the men are. So in regards to that article, whomever the author is, she must have tapped into that population of folk where that's going on out there in that population. Because I'm not gonna say that's the answer to everybody's theory. I don't think that's everybody's theory. But obviously that were those young men's theory. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of men out there that think like that, but I'm not going to say the majority think like that. But I'm saying I see why that article is called that, and, why they brought out that part about the women are not doing well in the dating part, because they have all these it's like they competing. They feel like they got to compete,
especially
I feel bad for the young women that are coming up in this at this age. The young women, the older women, we're more set in our ways. We're more confident. Some of us anyway. I ain't gonna say all of us, but a lot of us are more confident, so we don't trip about those type of things. Like we don't have as many hang-ups as the younger women do that's competing with looks and all this other kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I see why that title is there, because it is definitely going on out there in the streets. Yeah.
Yes, especially, part of is talking about apps and how the apps the dating apps that we use, is really like the thing now, and the whole changing of how we go and date now, and then we got to deal with body shaming or bullying, and I feel that it makes it just more difficult when you're using the apps and you putting your picture up there, and then there's some people, men or women, who might not feel confident, but they want to date or they want company or however, whatever reason they're getting on the app.
I feel a little different. I'm a little light to that. I know that they have a group of people that's body shaming. I know they have a group of people that are being body shamed, but there's a lot of people. I feel like there's a group out there also that love those bodies that are being shamed.
Yes, yes.
Like they have men out there that love the imperfected body. Like they don't care if it's dent everywhere. They don't care if you got roly-poly, whatever. They want the real deal. They don't want nobody that has, the surgery. I remember this one girl that was in my life for a time. She was a single Christian woman, and she went out on a date with this guy, and she was very voluptuous. But she had, like every woman, they always have some type of self-consciousness about themselves. So for her, she felt like, oh, my stomach is sticking out or whatever the case may be. So she put on one of them, what do they call them, them shapers. And when he came, he was like, what's that? He was like, what's that? And she was like, what? Because he kind of embarrassed her. She knew him well enough that they could have that conversation, but still he kind of embarrassed her because he even called her on it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, take that off. Like, I want you to be your natural, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying that and so I'm putting it out there. If you feel like you're being body shamed from an app, don't use that app. That's not the right place for you to be trying to date, because believe me, there's a whole lot of folk out there that like you just like you are. You ain't got to go and do no surgery, none of that. There's somebody for everybody. Matter of fact, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I can see if you want to do some things for yourself, you want to fix yourself up, you want to do some things because you want to feel good about yourself, but don't do it because of somebody else. But I'm just saying, sometimes the things you're trying to fix, people actually like. And they be like, wait a minute, what you doing? Like some people be like, oh, I want to lose weight. And the guy be like, don't lose unless if it's a health problem. They want you to have a little bit of fat that they can grab on. So I'm just saying.
So thank you. For giving that perspective. Because I agree with you. And I was just pointing out, sometimes on the app,